Welcome back, everyone. We're thrilled now to be joined by Mary Levanway. She's a dietitian with Hannaford. Thank you so much for joining us today.
My pleasure.
And today we want to talk about how we can take simple steps to reduce food waste while also keeping nutrition top of mind, obviously. What is one maybe golden rule that people should think about when they're looking to reduce waste? You know, everyone hates throwing food away at the end of the day.
Yeah, I think the most significant, probably most impactful thing we can do is meal planning, right? If we take that time, say at the beginning of the week, on the weekend maybe, to plan our meals, what we're going to have, we can think about what we're buying and then again how we can, you know, make them into multiple meals or reuse them from a dinner meal to a lunch meal and so on. So the meal planning part is really important, and also because then you get to look at, oh, the kids have this this going on this night and that night, so what are we going to do for those evenings, and maybe cutting back, like, oh, we're actually going to get food out, at the basketball game or something.
Right.
So really planning so you have the right proportions available, but not excessive amounts,
Yeah, I think so many of us, when we go to the grocery store, it may be easy to add things to our shopping list that we didn't really think about before just because it catches our eye in the moment.
Right.
How can people maybe avoid over shopping during the week?
Yeah, I think one of the things to really think about is, how am I going to use this food? We sometimes talk about the idea of leftovers, but and that some people are like, I don't talk about leftovers, I don't like leftovers. And so another concept to think about is next over. And that's the idea that, say maybe you have baked chicken. You bake up some chicken for something tonight that then maybe tomorrow becomes the chicken that you put into a chicken Caesar salad that maybe later becomes a chicken Caesar salad wrap. So kind of taking that same item or initial dish and then turning it into others. One that I love to do really easy is tacos, right? It can be, tacos, traditional tacos one night. It can be a taco salad the next day. So again, it's repurposing, if you will, that food, and so you're not wasting it, but it's not necessarily leftovers, right?
Right.
So it has a new look to it. It's kind of fresh. We all get bored if we typically, there's something called habituation, and that's when we kind of see the food again, the same, wonderful taco, and again, like we do get bored with it. So it's important to keep us, interested in eating it and make it into something else. So I think, really looking at what are the meals that we're going to have. I think it's really helpful to for your budget to look at what's on sale. Use our flyers. If you don't have the flyer, you have our app. Like, look at what's on sale. Even when you come into the store, you get to see the sale items, and you might be drawn. Like, say if strawberries are on sale, I have a lot of people say, "Oh, they were on sale, so I bought it," which is great for their budget. But then they realize, you know what? Like, I don't really eat them, or there's just one or two in the household. We don't go through them enough. And so I think, again, really matching that is, am I saving money or am I actually wasting food? And maybe, often we, one of the rules that I encourage people to follow at our store is we have our little snack pals, and those are our cut up fruits and veggies. They do have kid graphics, and they're kind of marketed to kids, but they're a fabulous product because they're a small serving. And so for a household that just has one or two, if you buy one of our little cups of cut up strawberries, you're much less likely to end up throwing out, those, as opposed to the other half of the container of strawberries, right? And wasting it. So again, thinking about, it might look like the price is a little bit more initially, but if you're not throwing out and wasting it, on the other hand, you're saving yourself and you're not wasting food. So
that's really great advice, especially for someone like myself who loves to jump on a good deal when you see one, but keeping all of that in mind is so very important.
Yeah.
And a lot of people are doing some last-minute shopping ahead of this big storm that we're anticipating. What are some things that people should maybe keep in mind, as maybe they're a little frantic right now trying to get everything they need?
I think, making sure you have some staples that are non-perishable. As a dietitian, I love beans, right? So black beans, kidney beans, garbanzo beans. Those can, again, be used in many ways to make some meals. So having some of those, but again, I would be cautious. I'm often, worried when I see people in the store having really big carts full of things, because if we lose power and they don't have a generator, they're going to waste a lot of that food. So again, thinking about what you have for, resources for keeping your cold stuff cold.
Fantastic. All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us today, Mary. We really appreciate all of the advice.
Such a pleasure. Thank you.
And your full forecast coming right up. Stay with us.